Welcome back to Mac Music Review. Before I hop into the review, just want to say there's going to be some stuff down in the description if you're interested in how the channel works and all that good stuff. You can find that all down in the description for this video. To see what I'm reviewing next, to see how to request an album for me to review, all that, yeah, it's down there. Today we're going to be looking at the album Sacred Hearts Club by Foster the People. Foster the People are a fairly successful, they call themselves indie pop band, and they definitely have been going in that direction, especially with this album. But they're an alternative band most well known for their super mega hit single, mega hit song, Pumped Up Kicks, from their debut album Torches. And then they did the album Supermodel, and it wasn't super popular, but it did have a small hit song, and that was Best Friend. And then they did this album, and it's been massive for the band. It contains the mega hit single, what's it called? I don't know if it was a single, but it contains the mega hit song Sit Next to Me, which has even gotten airplay on pop radio. I've heard this song on pop radio multiple times. It has been 2 years. Its album came out in 2017. It's 2019 now. I heard it on the radio just a few hours ago, on FM radio. I mean, this song is huge. Like, this song has been so big for them. And so I feel like for their next album, they're going to be trying to make a bunch of Sit Next to Me's. But I'm getting off track. What is this album? What is Sacred Hearts Club? Well, first off, it's 12 tracks long. It's 1 track longer. Each of their albums has been 1 track longer than the last. So their debut was 10 tracks. Supermodel was 11, this one's 12. Except that 2 of the tracks, Time to Get Closer and Orange Dream, are actually instrumental, like interludes or intros or whatever. So, and they're not full-length songs. They're not full-length songs. So really this has 10 full-length songs and 2 interlude type things. Sacred Hearts Club is a very different album than Supermodel. They went in a completely different direction. Supermodel was a pretty heavy album for the most part. There were some really fun upbeat tracks, but most of it was the lyrical content was very heavy and serious for like the entire album, or most of the album. And this is a much more laid back, kind of freestyle, do whatever they want type album. It doesn't have this big cohesive theme to it. It's just kind of a collection of songs where they kind of do whatever they want. Pay the Man has some lyrics which are kind of like supposed to be clever and are supposed to reference like the music industry and stuff like that. Sit Next to Me is just a love song. Doing It for the Money also is supposed to have some cleverness, some meaning behind them. I Love My Friends. That's just an upbeat, happy song about loving your friends. It's just a pop song. Static Space Lover and Lotus Eater are like love songs. Static Space Lover is kind of a slowish kind of love song that actually features a female singer. And then the other one, Lotus Eater, is a more upbeat pop style love song, more mainstream type love song. And then you have Loyal Like Sid and Nancy, which is the most aggressive, intense, bonkers, crazy song Foster the People's ever done. The way it's sung, it's like they're doing like a ritual, like ritual summoning or something. Like it's just freaky. The way he sings the song, it's like he's reciting parts of something you have to recite to like summon a demon or something, the way he sings it. And the music, it's like, it has these bursts of like EDM type thing, and it also has this building and building and building, and sometimes the music is really eerie for a lot of it. And I mean, it's a crazy song. The majority of the songs on this album are pretty upbeat and energetic. Some of them take it a little bit slow. The final track, I, or 3, or however you want to say it, is pretty slow. Hard in the Paint is, you know what, I can never remember with that song. I think it's actually a little bit upbeat. No, Hard in the Paint is kind of more downbeat. I don't remember. But then you have Lotus Eater, which is upbeat. Static Space Lovers, this kind of slow, nice love song. I Love My Friends is this really upbeat, fun pop song about loving your friends, like I said. Sacred Hearts Club is upbeat with some crazy, spastic music. Sit Next to Me is pretty upbeat with lots of electronic, psychedelic music. And that's another thing on this album is you're going to notice a lot of psychedelic influences. A lot of the music tries to just be kind of overwhelming and crazy, not like they've done in the past. It sounds markedly different. I don't know how to explain how it's different though, but the music is really all over the place on the more energetic, upbeat songs on this album. Especially Doing It for the Money and Pay the Man. They're really hectic with all the beats and sputtering and musical stuff that's just swirling and like really making a mess on these songs. The music is everywhere. Musically, Sacred Hearts Club is the least consistent Foster the People record in terms of quality production. With that being said, it is the least consistent out of their discography. A lot of it does sound pretty good. A lot of it does get old over time. But, you know, the majority of this album actually does sound pretty good. Pay the Man and Doing It for the Money both have these really strong moments. And they both have moments where the quality dips and the song gets a little bit anticlimactic. But both songs have lots of cool music. Sacred Hearts Club, same thing, the title track, SHC, sounds really good. It sounds really good. I Love My Friends is a lot of fun. It just honestly just sounds good. Static Space Lover actually works. It's pretty slow, but the female singer does a good job, and musically it works. Loyal Like Sid Nancy is a mess of a song. Some of it sounds really cool, and some of it is kind of, it could have been better. But honestly, it is a pretty shocking, very, very memorable, crazy song. So I would say musically that song does work very well. I think the last song, I, despite its slowness, does work fairly well. It's not amazing, but it's definitely not bad. Yeah, so the music on this album, honestly, it's not bad. The production really is pretty interesting. It is pretty, a lot of it just sounds really good. A lot of the music on this album, just the majority of the album sounds really good. I would have to say, if I was going to have a complaint, lyrically, it's definitely not anything close to as good as Supermodel. A lot of the lyrics are very petty. They're very kind of, some of them are kind of dumb. Pay the Man and Doing It for the Money actually do have some interesting lyrics and themes going on with them. But it's kind of all like mashed together in a very haphazard way, so it's not as successful as it could be. I Love My Friends is just goofy. It's not bad, but there's nothing substantive. There's nothing mature about the lyrics. And then you have Static Space Lover. It's just a love song. Lotus Eater has particularly bad love lyrics that are just kind of generic. Loyal Like Sid Nancy has very interesting lyrics. Very interesting. I don't really have a problem with that because they're very striking and kind of aggressive at parts. It's a very memorable song. Hard in the Paint, I. Lyrically, they're not bad. They're not great either. That's the majority of this album. Lyrically is not terrible. Most of it just isn't great or anything to sneeze at, really. Sacred Hearts Club just doesn't work like the other two Foster the People records. It really, really does pale when you compare it to the rest of their discography. The debut was fantastic. The debut had some really great music, some really great tunes that were consistent. And I feel like the good music on this, like I said, each song has moments where it's really good and then moments where it's disappointing. And with their debut and Supermodel, that wasn't the case. The songs were consistently good. The entire song was good. The whole entire song sounded good. With this, the music comes in these bursts of being good and then being meh. And some of the songs are forgettable. Some of the songs sound kind of meh. Even though a lot of the music is pretty good, not all of it is. And like I said, it's just, the music is not consistent on every track. Normally, each track has a highlight in the music, but it's like, not the whole song sounds great. And like I said, lyrically, this album is just not that great. It's really not super well written as a whole. In total, it's not super well written. I'm going to have to give this thing 3.5 stars out of 5. I did end up liking this album more when I came back to it than when I originally wrote my review. I gave it 3 stars out of 5. Now I'm giving it 3.5 because musically, a lot of it does sound really good. A lot of these songs do sound really cool, and they do sound interesting. The psychedelic element, the really over-the-top element of most of the music on this thing really does work pretty well on a lot of these songs. And it's just not very well written. And like I said, the music is not super consistent. So it's a good album. Thank you for watching.